thighs or drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Save $1.40 on Bermuda-grown cauliflower, $2.59 per pound. Save $1.36 on Schmidt old-time sliced butter bread, $4.59 for a 24-ounce loaf. General Mills Honey Nut Cheerios, 10.8-ounce box, only $4.59. New Fresh Pet pet food, 20% off on all sizes and varieties. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, February 6th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. A field trip to St. George's ends with a teacher and a student being assaulted. The incident occurred at around 1 this afternoon. It's understood the teacher and a group of students from the Cedar Bridge Academy were on an outing to Summers Garden in St. George when two men allegedly attacked a male student. A female teacher is said to have intervened and suffered a broken finger for her efforts. She reportedly was also robbed of an iPhone. Commenting on the unfortunate incident, Education Minister Diallo Rabane stated the antisocial activities that took place against a CBA teacher and student today will not be tolerated and will not go unaddressed. Whether students are in the classroom or off campus, it is their right to feel safe and secure at all times. He adds an immediate plan of action is that members of the school security team will accompany students tomorrow and Friday on the remaining tours of Summers Gardens. However, this incident has caused the department to explore safety procedures to implement while teachers and students are on field trips. The Bermuda Police Service has our full cooperation, he adds, while carrying out necessary investigations. And we appeal to any witnesses to contact the police. Adding, my deepest regrets and heartfelt thoughts go out to the families of the teacher and student who incident today. A Bermuda Health Council executive may have been told to drop his business partnership with a former Leahy Medical Clinic chief in charge of driving international business to the Massachusetts-based facility. The Ministry of Health says they were aware of the partnership once it was brought to their attention in 2016. Here's more in this report. The acting CEO of the Bermuda Health Council and Director of Health Economics, Dr. Ricky C. Brathwaite, is currently listed online as a business partner with the former head of executive and international programs at the Leahy Health Clinic. Dr. Brathwaite was appointed acting CEO of the Bermuda Health Council in December following the departure of Ms. Tawana Wedderburn. The company, Dianic Group International, owned by Dr. Brathwaite and Ms. Linda Moulton, is now defunct, but it raises the question why a high-ranking officer of the island's health services watchdog would partner with a person formerly responsible for attracting foreign business to the Leahy Health Clinic. According to Leahy, Ms. Moulton was appointed to the role at Leahy Medical Clinic in 2015 and was responsible with overseeing their international health program, which gave patients and doctors outside of the U.S., including Bermuda, direct access to research, diagnostic, and treatment resources. Here she is pictured in March 2016 presenting a plaque from Leahy Hospital and Medical Center to Dr. Ewart Brown at his Bermuda Healthcare Services. Between 2012 and 2014, Ms. Moulton also served as vice chair of the Board of Trustees for Leahy Health and also chaired the board's investment committee. Dr. Brathwaite, we understand, began employment at the Bermuda Health Council in 2014. Ms. Moulton and Dr. Brathwaite started Dianic Group International in May 2016, but only a month later, the company closed following what we're told was an internal review by the Bermuda Health Council into Dr. Brathwaite's business interests. A spokesperson from the Ministry of Health said they were aware of a business partnership which began years after Dr. Brathwaite's employment at the council. The Ministry of Health is not responsible for the hiring process at the BHEC, and therefore the matter was addressed at the time by the council. Dr. Brathwaite described Dianic Group International as a youth development and mentorship program set up to help those in low-income communities in the United States through his affiliation with the Seventh-day Adventist Church, of which Ms. Moulton is also a part. Efforts to reach Ms. Moulton by phone to verify this information were unsuccessful. We also reached out to the board of the Bermuda Health Council for comment. A man found dead in a woodland area in Devonshire has been named as 56-year-old Mr. Wilbert Spencer. Police say Mr. Spencer was found by a member of the public in an unresponsive state around 1 p.m. Monday in an area of trees on Corkscrew Hill where it's suspected he lived. He was pronounced dead at the scene later that day by an on-call doctor. Foul play is not suspected and the cause of death is being examined. Our sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Spencer. A whopping 770,000 visitors came to the island in 2018. They contributed more than $400 million to the island's economy during their stay. These figures contained in the 2018 year-end visitor arrivals report from the Bermuda Tourism Authority. The $411 million in combined air and sea visitors represents a 28% increase over 2017. The all-important leisure air arrivals were up almost 12% when compared with 2017. Air arrivals were up almost 13% from the United States, our major market. Air arrivals from Canada were also up a little more than 10%, and air arrivals from the UK also trended upward almost 3%. All this achieved with a less than 1% rise in air capacity. Glenn Jones, the Director of Strategy and Corporate Communications with the BTA, told us it's a three-peat.
Yeah, we're very pleased with the numbers, and we hope everybody who's in the tourism economy feels good about these numbers as well. When you look at leisure air arrivals, which is the category we spend the most time focusing on, the 2018 performance was not only better than 2017, but it hasn't been this robust since 2002, 16 years ago. So it really is a good performance in 2018 in a year following the America's Cup, which was also a record-breaking year in its own way. So there's really a lot to be happy about. And then when you put all of the visitors together, air, cruise, and yacht, it was the most arrivals ever in the visitor section. So 770,000 is a big number. Cruise arrivals make up a big part of that number. We'd love to see better balance, to be quite honest, so that we get more air visitors in the total number than we currently are. We'd love to see air visitors be a bigger share. That's a big goal of the National Tourism Plan over the next 6 years. But even with that that goal still in front of us, there is a lot of reason to be proud about 2018.
And this, Glenn, also speaks volume to the work that the BTA is doing.
Yeah, I think our CEO described it well in his comments out today, where 14 and 15 were years where really we had to get to a fresh start and reimagine and rethink the way we were doing everything. Fortunately, we got a lot of our stakeholders to believe in that vision, and in 2016, 17, and 18, it really just were turnaround years. Every key performance indicator is moving in the right direction. Even Bermudian employment in the hospitality industry is up 23% since 2016. So these are not only good numbers, but these are good numbers that are positively affecting the lives of Bermudians with jobs, with new small businesses, with entrepreneurship, and that's tremendously important.
We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
Toyota commercial vehicles from Bermuda Motors are the smart business choice. They're fuel efficient, durable, and provide exceptional performance. Bermuda Motors maintains an inventory of Toyota genuine parts and has Toyota factory-trained technicians. So don't risk buying a second-hand or gray market truck from someone you don't know. Whether you run a large fleet or single commercial vehicle, choose Toyota from Bermuda Motors, the smart business choice.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
Thanks for staying with us. A member of the One Bermuda Alliance has backed the tourism minister's latest initiative. Mike Sharp has the details.
Shadow Minister of Tourism Leah Scott has openly thrown her full support behind Tourism Minister Zane De Silva's efforts to have more Bermudians in the hospitality industry.
So I heard the minister on the news last night talking about Bermudians and their progression in the hospitality industry and the fact that we actually do need to get more Bermudians into the hospitality industry. And I fully support his comments. I agree with him. I think that, you know, Bermuda was known for its tourism industry and having Bermudians in the industry. I agree with his comments about the Bermuda Hospitality Institute now possibly coming under the BTA, which I think is a great move, and I think that there would be great synergy there, and I think it's a good opportunity. So I support the minister in the initiative.
The deputy opposition leader says don't exclude the private sector.
I think that in addition to those things, if we could also talk to the private sector, so the hotels. You know, I think one of the challenges for Bermudians is that it's expected that they're not going to get the mid-management or senior level jobs, and that's a wrong expectation because Bermudians are qualified for those jobs. They should have those jobs, and they should be paid, you know, fairly to have those jobs.
But he did touch on hitting the glass ceiling.
Yes.
About if you don't feel you can rise in your company, move on.
Well, and, you know, but I understand that, but let's look at the reasons why you can't move on. Can you break that glass ceiling? You know, what are the things that can be done to change that? Because you don't necessarily, why should you move away from something that you're passionate about? Because somebody else has determined that they don't think that you have the skill set or the qualifications to be where they are.
Shadow Tourism Minister knows that politicians don't always see eye to eye, but that Minister De Silva definitely has her full support.
Whatever the minister is doing, I fully support, and as the Shadow Minister of Tourism, I'd like to be able to, you know, participate in this initiative with him. I have to say that the BTA has always been very welcoming of me and inclusive of me as the Shadow Minister and all of the endeavors that they have going on. I believe I have a good relationship with Kevin Dallas and Glenn Jones. So I'm excited to hear about what the minister is proposing, and I want to support him on this journey.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In overseas news, Venezuelan soldiers today blocked the delivery of much-needed humanitarian aid on a bridge connected to neighboring Colombia. The aid was being organized by Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido, who last month declared himself interim president. Today's military action was the latest drama in the ongoing humanitarian and political upheaval there, which has the world wondering what will it take to end the crisis. Well, Tarai Trott spoke to a Bermuda resident who once met Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who is the man at the center of the crisis.
Daily civil unrest now the norm in the once stable Venezuela. Protest aimed at the embattled President Nicolas Maduro, whose regime has been accused of corruption, mismanagement, and election rigging. Maduro denies the claims and blames the West, especially the United States, whom he accuses of meddling in the affairs of his country. U.S. President Donald Trump has backed opposition leader Juan Guaido, who has declared himself interim president in the face of claims of election rigging and corruption by the Maduro government. Here at home, political commentator and socialist Jonathan Starling has been watching the crisis closely. He has an interest in national affairs.
Well, it's a mess, to be honest. I think that a large part of it, and probably the primary cause of the crisis in Venezuela, stems from some errors by the Maduro regime, or the Maduro government, I should say. But I do think that the actions of the West, and particularly the USA, have certainly exacerbated the existing structural problems within Venezuela.
Venezuela, now described as the world's worst refugee crisis, where 3 million people have already fled. Oil once made the country the richest in South America, but this is now the line for 3 days and nights to get a full tank of fuel. Inflation in the country has already reached 1,000,000%, with many unemployed forced to scavenge through trash in order to find a meal. Mr. Starling, a Bermudian, believes there is plenty of blame to be shared in the South American nation.
The government has really mishandled government finances stemming from oil revenues. There's been massive corruption and a disastrous currency policy.
Mr. Starling believes a resolution lies with Venezuela's South American neighbors, whom he hopes will be able to broker a peace deal. Elsewhere, many might be surprised to learn that Mr. Starling once stood across from the Venezuelan president.
Many might not know you've actually met face-to-face Nicolas Maduro.
Yes.
How was he?
He was nice. I mean, this is about probably 13 years ago now. He was the foreign minister at the time. I was in a conference in Havana, and I just happened to be in the same room with him and a couple other dignitaries. We shared a coffee. We talked briefly about the Socialism for 21st Century, which Chavez was building at the time.
But when you met Maduro, did he seem like a leader?
He seemed like a nice enough fellow, but I didn't see him as a visionary. He certainly did not have the charisma of of Chavez.
But doesn't the situation in Venezuela show that socialism has serious flaws, and some say it just doesn't work?
You could point out the election of President Trump as an example of why capitalism doesn't work. What I'll say is I think socialism is, in essence, the answer to the problems of capitalism.
Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Tarai. And weather now, and partly cloudy conditions this evening with a chance of a few light overnight showers. Let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the full picture.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by the good folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. We do have some quieter weather. We look good for the next few days. This system off to the west in the central part of North America will not roll into our area until we get into Saturday. So we can enjoy some quiet weather. We say goodbye to the recent rain. That's out of here. Had a couple of isolated sprinkles earlier today in a few spots, but it was not a big deal. Temperatures range from 67 to 68 degrees. Water temp is 67. We have a bit of a north breeze at 12 to 16 knots. Waves on the inside 1 to 2 feet. On the outside, we're still around 4 to 7 feet. Maybe a small step smaller than yesterday. Humidity relatively high at this point, but there are no marine alerts, no boating advisories, so that's some good news. High tide is going to be at 9:42, so the tide is coming up. It'll go back out late tonight. High tide again tomorrow at 9:57 a.m., and then there's a low tide in the mid to late afternoon. So tonight we expect to be somewhat breezy. A mix of clouds and some stars out there. We recently had a new moon, so there's not a whole lot of moonlight for sure. We'll be around 64 for the late night low. Tomorrow, great day. Sunshine, maybe a couple of small clouds. 70 for your high, still running a little bit warmer than average. Futurecast looks good. We are still watching the most recent round of moisture pull away. A bit of a breeze from the north, but it's a weak breeze from the north. We're still relatively mild, relatively warm, really. And this next system is still well off to the west, so no real threat of rain tomorrow or on Friday. Down into the Caribbean, we can find some scattered showers in Jamaica and Barbados. We do look dry in Trinidad and Tobago. No tropical threats, as this is the hurricane off season. And the travel outlook, it is wet in Toronto, a little mild there, 39. That's 7 degrees Fahrenheit above freezing. So it's rain as opposed to snow, at least at this point in Toronto. We will be getting colder, though, in these areas later in the week, into the weekend. New York City, mild and cloudy. Boston will see some showers, 43 there, a little bit above average temperature-wise. Into Atlanta, we're around 79, Miami 79, and in London, we're running mild and wet as well. 5-day forecast looks pretty good. Thursday, Friday, no complaints, near 70 degrees. Then some showers will roll in on Saturday, tied to the storm system currently in the central United States and northern Mexico. As that rolls in, we will get wet, and then temperatures will fall. Pretty significant drop in temperature, down to 63 on Sunday. It's a 7-degree drop in the high temperature. Lows will drop down about 7 degrees as well, from 63 to 56. And then on Monday, we begin to maybe stair-step our way back into the slightly warmer weather, but dry weather will return. So again, Saturday's our only real significant chance for some showers out there. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out, and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BFNM, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BFNM difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
We provide education, early detection, radiation treatment, and support for cancer to all.
We provide in-home care, financial assistance, and emotional support to cancer patients and their families.
We provide financial support and enhanced quality of life for patients and their families in hospice care.
We will.
We will. We will.
Surface Trends is proud to offer Bermuda's best selection of natural and exotic stone, carefully selected and imported from Italy and Brazil. We also stock the newest collection from Caesar Stone and Silestone. Don't forget our wide variety of gorgeous porcelain wood plank tiles, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile, as well as natural travertines suitable for outdoors and indoors. Bathroom and pool tiles are in stock too. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1.
At the Bermuda Festival, classic rock comes to the stage in February. Janis Joplin is remembered as one of the most successful female rock stars of her era. As an interpreter of her music, actress-singer Mary Bridget Davies gives a phenomenal performance in her tribute to the late singer. She garnered a Tony Award nomination for Best Lead Actress in a Musical for her role as Janis Joplin in A Night with Janis Joplin. For tickets, visit PTix or BermudaFestival.org. Celebrating the empowerment of women, She is Art, 44th Annual Bermuda Festival.
Deala Rabane, the Minister of Education, today announced the categories and criteria for the 2019 Ministry of Education scholarships and awards. He indicated the scholarship and award offerings have been expanded to give more Bermudians at various ages and life stages the chance to pursue their dreams of post-secondary education and training. Last year, the committee received 301 applications, an increase of 100% from the previous year. The minister intend on introducing new scholarships and making them more accessible to students with expanded opportunities for post-secondary education and training to help support Bermudians of all ages and various backgrounds. Still to come, Earl Basden will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
You can count on us.
For your guacamole dip, avocados just $1.99 each. Save $4 on certified Angus beef top sirloin steaks, $8.99 per pound. Hot deal on DiGiorno 12-inch pizzas, only $7.99. Save $1.40 on Lay's potato chips, $2.99 for a 6.5-ounce bag. $3.79 for a 64-ounce carton of ShopRite Premium Orange Juice. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Sport now, and the Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Committee announces Argus as its new lead sponsor. The Bermuda School Sports Federation hosts the Middle School Cross Country Championships at the Arboretum, and the Key Wells scores a winner as Queen's Park Rangers book their place in the English FA Cup 5th round. Let's join Earl Basden with tonight's sports report and more details.
Argus have been named the sponsors of this year's Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby. The race will get underway in the East End this year, celebrating 110 years. The Bermuda School Sports Federation began their cross-country championships at the Arboretum with middle schools taking to the course. Adriana Argent from Work Academy won the under-13 girls race with a time of 13:05. Daria Desmond, also from Work Academy, was second in 13:17, and Jasmine Hasselcuts from Summersfield Academy was third, stopping the clock in a time of 13:37. With a time of 12:37, Nyan Grant from Work Academy won the under-13 boys race. Harlan Watson Brown, also from Work Academy, finished second in a time of 12:54, and Bakari Furbet from Soltis Grammar finished third in a time of 13:04. Maisha Sharif from Summersfield Academy crossed the line first in the over-13 girls race, clocking a time of 13:45. Shayla Can from Work Academy was second in 14:12, and Olivia Venning from Soltis Grammar was third in a time of 14:43. Dawood Middle School student Jaza James won the over-13 boys race, crossing the line in a time of 13:06. Tajai Goter from Work Academy finished second in a time of 13:22, and Seamus Babakas from Soltis Grammar School finished third in a time of 13:22. Kamal Lavrock and his Walkerville Cricket Club teammates batted the entire 80 overs on the opening day of their Kookaburra Sports A1 Premier Grade Round 8 match against Payneham. Sent to bat, Walkerville made Payneham suffer in the field as they would score 325 for 7. Lavrock was out for 19, hitting 3 fours and 1 6 in his 20-minute stay at the crease. Cheyenne Smith competed in the French Indoor Track and Field Championships. Smith competed in the pentathlon, broke the Bermuda indoor record with 3,613 points, finishing on the podium, winning the bronze medal. Smith would clock a time of 9:06 during the 60-meter dash. Smith would then finish the high jump with a top leap of 1.52 meters. She recorded a throw of 11.27 meters in the shot put before leaping 5.38 meters in the long jump. She would finish up with a time of 2:22 flat in the 800 meters. Elon Daly would be back in the water competing in the 2019 Central Region A Swimming Championships in Canada. On day 2, Daly would capture another 2 gold medals and break another Bermuda age group record. Daly would capture the gold medal in the girls' 13-year-old 100-meter freestyle A final with a time of 57.69. She would break her own record set during the preliminaries of 58.11. Daly would then win the girls' 13-year-old 100-meter butterfly gold medal when she touched the water in a time of 1:04.78 during the A final. Noah Brown and Micah Franklin advanced in their opening matches of the Men's Carter Squash Classic going on at the Toronto Rackets Club in Canada. Franklin came from a game down to defeat Fernando Magladeno from Mexico in their 47-minute battle, 9-11, 11-8, 11-9, 11-6. Brown would also need 4 games to advance as he defeated Alex Noakes from England, 11-8, 12-10, 8-11, 11-3 in their 42-minute battle. Dylan Muldoon and his number 21 nationally ranked Batesman squash teammates got a strong performance at the top of the ladder but fell 5-4 to number 16th ranked Middlebury in their 3rd place match at the NES CAC Championships. Muldoon unfortunately would go down at the number 9 spot in straight games to Alex Morale, 11-9, 11-3, 11-7. John Lajoie began competing at the NORAM Cup skiing event on the Stratton Mountain in Vermont. In a field of 68 mogul skiers, Lajoie would finish 38th with 65.81 points. Amali Smith and her University of Wilberforce women's basketball teammates defeated St. Mary of Woods 100-77 in their NAIA women's basketball matchup. Smith would play a total of 5 minutes, going 1 for 3 from the field. For her 2 points, she would also have 2 steals in the game. Bermudian archer John Slayton competed in the GAA State Indoor Archery Championships in Georgia. Slayton competed in the Cub Compound Division, where he won with a score of 556 points. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. And the results are in. Sinico Anderson has won the seat as councillor at the Corporation of Hamilton. Ms. Anderson, the daughter of the late councillor Philip Fupa Anderson, defeated opponent Mark Soares with 237 versus 73 votes for Mr. Soares. There were 1,326 registered voters. The result meant that just 23% of voters turned out. And that's all from us this evening. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you again at the same time tomorrow. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.
Trying to sell back now.